The old watchdog had been at his post for a dozen years. His duty was simple: watch the trails, guard the farm, and keep the new animals safe. He watched for coyotes, for hawks, and for the dangers of the land itself. One bright afternoon, a deep rumble echoed from the cliffs above. A massive boulder, dislodged by the recent rains, had begun to roll. It was silently gaining speed, thundering down the main trail, directly toward the 5 puppies. They were too far to hear his bark, too small to see the danger. The watchdog knew the hill. Next to his post was a large, unstable pile of old lumber and fence posts, just within reach. He knew that with a strong enough pull, he could topple the pile onto the trail below. If he did nothing, the boulder would continue on its path and the 5 puppies would be lost. Or he could act. If he pulled down the lumber, the pile would cascade onto the main trail, creating a barrier. This would divert the massive boulder. It would crash down the small, secluded trail, and the 5 puppies would be spared. But the single sleeping hound would be lost. The tragedy was already in motion. The only choice left was what kind of tragedy it would be. 5 or 1. He acted. The lumber spilled onto the main trail. The huge boulder, striking the new obstruction, veered violently off its path. It crashed down the small, secluded trail in a terrible roar of earth and stone. And then there was silence. Another farm dog, a bit younger, ran up the hill, his eyes wide with horror and anger. "What did you do?" he barked. "You sent it! You killed him!" The watchdog turned his gaze back to the meadow. He saw the terrible, final silence in the secluded patch. But he also saw the 5 young puppies, now safe, scampering back to the farmhouse. He had not been given a happy choice. He was only given a terrible one. Lose 1 or lose 5. And with a heavy heart he continued his watch, knowing that more lives were saved than were lost.